So recently I've been playing a lot of the Friday the 13th game, and it made me realize just how big of a fan of the series I really am. Like, I'm not gonna be that asshole who says I'm the #1 fan of this or that, because everyone says that shit, but I will say, in the case of Friday the 13th, I'm at least top 3. So I'm gonna do what no man, at least this year so far, has done before. I'm gonna review the series like it deserves to be reviewed, by someone who knows what the fuck they're talking about. So strap in and grab your William Shatner masks and butcher knives, because... I'm sorry, I'm totally kidding, I'm sorry. Okay, grab your friend's face and a chainsaw, because we're... Again, just a joke. Goddamn, I'm on fire. Oh! Oh, fuck! Oh my god! Oh! It's still funny! So, Friday the 13th, what a classic, am I right? Some would even argue it would set the bar for slasher films to come, and those some would be wrong. My boy Mike started that trend in 1978, and this movie was literally made because of Halloween. Director Sean Cunningham literally said so. So, suck it. Anyway, the series is still regarded among the gods of horror as one of the best, so... Listen, I'm not here to bash Jason and say I think Michael Myers is better. I mean, I do think that, but I also have an enormous respect and admiration in my heart for the big dumb hockey-loving mongoloid, okay? So the first Friday the 13th movie was made in 1980. Now, being that it's 2018 and this movie has been available to the public for 38 years now, I'm going to assume that when I say spoilers ahead that no one will care or get offended or upset. It also helps that I don't care and will not get upset if you get upset. Anyway, so we all know the story of little JJ Voorhees. He drowned while at summer camp because the counselors of Camp Crystal Lake were too busy smoking dope and banging shoes. Is that how the saying goes? Smacking socks, maybe? Whatever. In 1958, no less. Who would have thought the wholesome long dress wearing, pigtail sporting goody-good girls of the 50s were such bad parents? So anyway, Jason drowns in the lake, and his mother, who was the cook at the camp at the time, got super duper like mega oh my god I can't believe you've done this upset with the counselors for not paying attention at the time. I mean, you were his mom, right? You'd think if she didn't trust him enough to begin with that she'd at least keep checking on him, but then we wouldn't have a movie if that were the case. So moving on, years later, more counselors show up trying to reopen and reestablish Camp Crystal Lake as a fun place for kids and adults alike. But the people in town still refer to it as Camp Blood because of that one time when a middle-aged cook went nuts and butchered some people. Except we're not supposed to know that yet. Whoops. But seriously, one time, and it's not like this place has a history of bloodshed. Yet. So anyway, Annie, one of the newly hired counselors, shows up in town, walks into the diner, and is like,
Excuse me, how far is Camp Crystal Lake from here?
But everyone looks at her like she just said, down with all the Jews! So they tell her where the camp is, and one guy offers to give her a ride. That's when they run into Crazy Ralph, who gives them the old...
You're going to Camp Blood, ain't ya?
How many times so far has this girl heard that this place is bad? Does she still want to go? Yep. So the guy takes her about halfway, then drops her off on the corner of that's a lot of trees, and wow, that's a lot of dirt. Then somebody in a Jeep happens by, and she's saved. But oh shit, it's the killer! Or... a killer! No, Annie, no! Damn it. Well, after that shit, it's about 20 minutes of your standard character introductions, but we don't care about any of that because they're all gonna die one by one later anyway. So who gives a shit? You got this jackass who, if you look close enough, you can see a tattoo on his forehead that says, I'm an annoying cunt. Then there's Steve Christie, who looks exactly how you'd imagine a serial killer in the 80s to look. Keep that in mind for later, he might be behind all this shit. Then there's this girl. She's like the one with the least characterization. So much so that I actually forgot her name. So, fuck her. Then there's Bill. He's also very forgettable. Except for that time he killed a snake. Woohoo, hooray! Then there's Marcy. She's my favorite character because, for personal reasons that are considered very personal and nostalgic to myself. She's really hot. Then there's Holy Double Cheese Ass Cream Sundae on a Thursday morning. That's Kevin Bacon! Yep, that's right, this is the movie that started the Baconator's career. Technically, it's his third movie, but it's understandable if no one wants to be associated with Animal House first. And who here has ever heard of the smash hit blockbuster Hero at Large? No? No one? Okay, Friday the 13th it is. Then there's Alice, sweet and innocent Alice, the geeky girl that everyone wants to see get freaky. But of course, when it comes to leading ladies, if they're not paid enough or if they have too much self-respect like any normal human being does, they won't do any kind of nudity in movies. And good for her. Your character shouldn't be defined by the shape of your body. Just take a look at Marcy. She's an interesting character with interesting proportions. Very sorry, I spaced out for a moment there. Anyway, so like you know the routine. They all get whacked off one by one. Okay, that doesn't sound like... Okay, no, they all get murdered. One by one. And it's like watching someone kill an ant and you're just there like, well, that wasn't very nice. There's not a lot of emotional attachment with these characters. I guess maybe I had some for Alice, but like I wasn't even aware that she was the final girl until like an hour into the movie. I had my sights set on Marcy for the whole... No, I'm sorry. Nope, she's dead. Doesn't matter. Whatever. Move on. So at the end of the movie, this very surprising and random woman named Pamela Voorhees shows up and spills her expositional coffee all into Alice's lap about her boy Jason who drowned in the lake a long time ago and how the counselors weren't watching and that they suck and they should all die, and it's like 5 minutes later we realize she was the killer. It is truly a shocking moment in film history, on par with seeing Norman Bates in a dress and learning who Luke Skywalker's father was. I mean, this is intense. It's like, what? This middle-aged woman killed all these people? Because her son drowned? Talk about revenge. Good God. I thought John Wick's revenge for his dog was over the top. This is just, well, okay, it's understandable, but it's also very unacceptable considering what this bitch started.
Kill her, Mommy. Kill her.
So Pamela and Alice duke it out in a final fight scene that lasts for a while and ends with a machete in Alice's hands, and whoa, shit, there goes Mrs. Voorhees' head. That's just, yo, check out her hairy knuckles. Those are actually the hands of special effects artist Tom Savini's friend. Just thought you ought to know. So anyway, Pamela is dead, Alice is not. It's over. It's finally over. She rows herself out onto the lake and takes a well-deserved nap. Then, holy shit, it's Jason! He comes back from the dead and pulls Alice under the water, and it was just a dream. But wait, here comes my favorite part.
Ma'am, we didn't find any boy.
Then he's still there.
That's awesome. What an ending. Set it up for a sequel. Genius. But I'm sure they won't make, like, more than one sequel. It's not that great of a story. So that's my review / play-by-play of Friday the 13th. It's a fantastic landmark entry into cinematic culture and will forever be that way. It deserves all the praise and continued notoriety that it receives every day. Especially now with the game, I hope more people discover this truly classic horror film. Anyway, until next time, I'll see you later.